Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, and today we're diving into something that's probably affected you or someone you know: online scams. How many times have you clicked on a link only to be bombarded with fake warnings about viruses, or been pressured into calling a tech support number that's actually just a scammer waiting to rip you off? Microsoft is betting they have a solution, but is it enough? That's what we're breaking down today. Is this the end of Scareware as we know it, or just another game of cat and mouse? Let's get into it. Okay. So here's the deal. Microsoft Edge just rolled out a new update with a built-in, AI-powered Scareware blocker. This isn't just some slight tweak. It's designed to actively identify and block scam websites that use scare tactics to trick you into downloading malware or giving up your personal information. They've also revamped the Downloads UI for a smoother, faster experience. Sounds great, right? But there's always more to the story. Let's dig into the good, the bad, and the potentially ugly. All right. Let's start with the obvious. The direct impact on you, the Edge user. First and foremost, you should see increased security. This blocker adds another layer of protection against those annoying and potentially dangerous scareware tactics. Think fewer fake virus warnings, fewer bogus tech support pop-ups, and less chance of accidentally downloading something nasty. Secondly, the faster Downloads UI. No more waiting around forever for your files to start downloading. It's supposed to be snappier and more responsive. And lastly, there's the trust factor. If Edge can consistently protect you from scams, you're more likely to trust it, use it more often, and recommend it to others. It's a win-win, in theory. Let's paint a picture. You accidentally click on a suspicious link. Instead of being instantly thrown into a full screen mode with blaring audio and a fake virus alert, Edge's AI kicks in. It recognizes the scareware tactics, automatically exits the full screen, stops the audio, and displays a clear warning message. That's a huge deal. It reduces the panic and frustration that scammers rely on to trick you. It's like having a built-in scam detector right in your browser. But remember, it's not foolproof. Another improvement being made is the new Download UI written in WebUI 2.0. This new markup-first architecture reduces the size of the code and the amount of JavaScript code that runs, making the Edge browser more efficient. This will provide for a smoother experience for the user. Now, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture. This move by Microsoft puts pressure on other browser developers, like Google with Chrome and Mozilla with Firefox. They're going to have to step up their game and implement similar anti-scareware features to stay competitive. This could lead to a broader industry trend of enhanced browser security, which is good news for everyone. It's like a browser security arms race, and we, the users, are the beneficiaries, hopefully. Here's a surprising benefit. This scareware blocker actually helps antivirus and security software companies. It complements existing security software, like Microsoft Defender Smart Screen, by providing an additional layer of defense. It reduces the burden on traditional antivirus programs, allowing them to focus on more complex threats. It's like having a backup quarterback. It strengthens the overall defense. Of course, the scammers aren't just going to roll over and give up. They're going to adapt. They'll likely try to find ways to circumvent the new blocker, using new tactics and techniques. This creates an ongoing arms race between security developers and the scammers. It's a constant game of cat and mouse, and we need to stay vigilant. Think of it like a cybersecurity chess match, always anticipating the next move. The success of this AI-powered scareware blocker could spur further investment and development in AI and machine learning for security applications. The more effective these AI models become, the better we can protect ourselves against online threats. It's like training a digital guard dog to sniff out the bad guys. This could be a huge growth area in the cybersecurity field. Okay, let's talk about the real-world impact. By preventing scareware scams, this blocker helps reduce the overall financial losses suffered by individuals and businesses due to these types of cybercrimes. Think about the money people lose to fake tech support, the cost of repairing infected computers, and the emotional distress caused by these scams. Every little bit helps. It's like plugging a leak in a sinking ship. It might not solve every problem, but it prevents further damage. Here's an interesting side effect. The visibility of the scareware blocker, through warnings and information about scams, could promote digital literacy and awareness of online threats among a wider audience. The more people understand how these scams work, the less likely they are to fall for them. It's like teaching people how to spot a con artist in real life. Knowledge is power. Reduced downtime and frustration caused by malware infections resulting from scams would improve productivity for individuals and businesses. Think about the time wasted dealing with infected computers, the stress of recovering lost data, and the disruption to workflow. Preventing these scams can save time and money. It's like preventing a flat tire. It keeps you on the road and moving forward. Now, let's talk about the risks. The biggest one? False positives. The AI model relies on comparing web pages to known scams. Legitimate websites with similar layouts or content could be incorrectly flagged as scareware, leading to a frustrating user experience. Imagine trying to access a legitimate website, only to be blocked by Edge's AI. That's a major problem. It's like a security guard who's too eager to stop everyone, even the good guys. To combat this, they will need to test the AI and make it more accurate to know the difference between a scam and a legitimate website. They will also need to provide transparency in how the AI works and what data is collected. And lastly, they will need to allow users to provide feedback and the ability to report false positives. Here's another big one. Scammers are constantly evolving their tactics. If the AI model relies solely on visual comparison, scammers could adapt by creating scams that visually differ from the training data, employing techniques to obfuscate the page content, or using A/B testing to identify visual elements that trigger the blocker and then modify their scams accordingly. It's a never-ending game of cat and mouse. It's like trying to catch a thief who's constantly changing their disguise. To combat this, they will need to continuously monitor the performance of the AI model and update it to address new threats and improve accuracy. They will also need to make sure that the AI is not just relying on visual comparisons, but also on other factors such as the website's domain name, the content of the website, and the behavior of the website. Even though Microsoft says the AI model runs locally and doesn't send images to the cloud, users might still be concerned about data collection or misuse. Microsoft needs to be extremely transparent about how the AI model works and what data, if any, is being used. The phrase, scam fighting community, shared with us raises questions about the source and quality of the training data. If the data is biased or contains inaccuracies, the AI model could be less effective or even discriminatory. It's like trusting a security guard who has a hidden agenda. To combat this, they will need to be transparent about how the AI model works and what data is collected. They will also need to make sure that the data is not biased or contains inaccuracies. And lastly, they will need to allow users to opt out of the AI model. Running an AI model locally, even if optimized, will consume system resources, CPU, memory, battery life, especially on mobile devices. This could be a concern for users with older or less powerful computers. Microsoft needs to ensure that the performance impact is minimal. It's like adding a powerful engine to a car. It's great, but it also consumes more fuel. To combat this, they will need to optimize the AI model to minimize its impact on system resources. They will also need to provide users with the ability to disable the AI model if they are experiencing performance issues. The articles mention that users can report scam sites to be added to Microsoft's Defender Smart Screen. This places a burden on users to actively participate in improving the system. If users don't report scams, the database of known threats will be incomplete, reducing the effectiveness of the blocker. It's like relying on people to report potholes. If nobody reports them, they never get fixed. To combat this, they will need to make it easy for users to report scam sites. They will also need to provide incentives for users to report scam sites. And lastly, they will need to actively monitor the internet for new scam sites. Finally, remember, the scareware blocker is just a first line of defense. It's not a silver bullet. Users should still be educated about online safety and encouraged to practice safe browsing habits. Relying solely on the AI blocker could create a false sense of security. It's like relying solely on a security system. You still need to lock your doors and be aware of your surroundings. So, what's the verdict? Microsoft's new AI-powered scareware blocker is a promising step forward in the fight against online scams. It has the potential to significantly improve the browsing experience and protect users from financial losses and emotional distress. However, it's not without its risks. False positives, evasion by scammers, privacy concerns, and resource consumption are all potential challenges that Microsoft needs to address. By proactively mitigating these risks, Microsoft can increase the effectiveness and user acceptance of this feature. But remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle. Staying informed, practicing safe browsing habits, and using a multi-layered security approach are still essential for protecting yourself online. What do you think? Is this a game changer or just another drop in the bucket? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, thanks for watching.